That's good. Who is that, Harry? What was that playing? It's giving me like a James Bond vibe. Good
Sorry, I cut
morning.
it. I cut it short.
I know who is that though? It's giving me like Amy
Um,
Winehouse doing a James Bond song.
it's Ayoka, Simply Falling.
It's nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
from the Sticks and Bones playlist that I have.
Mm, very nice. Now I gotta go look for her. Good morning and welcome to Love Babz Love Talk. You're getting a little bit of talk before I even talk. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. It's around 9 o'clock. You got me, and you're listening to us on 103.5 WNHH. You know, of course, we're live streaming wherever Harry has us: Facebook, X, YouTube. We're everywhere, and we're big in Russia. Who is streaming? Who's looking at us this week, Harry? Because I tell people, we're big in places, and people are like, "Really? How do you know?" I say, "How do you know?" Because Harry keeps up the analytics. That's how we know who's listening to us around the world. I have leftover protein shake. This is a hemp protein shake I had left over from yesterday. Oh, thank you for putting her name in the chat. I'm gonna add her to my Spotify if I could find her. Because I really like the way she sounds. That was a nice little tune she was singing, you know, giving me a little bit of a James Bond vibe. So it's gonna rain later today, so get out and enjoy the sun while you can. Harry, let me tell you, my doctor got me off of glipizide. My my uh uh diabetes medication because I'm off of it. That's how good I've been doing. Although she would like me to lose more weight.
Well, that's always the
I know.
catch, right?
But I've been doing so. She said my blood work, my numbers are so good. Because my cardiologist has been taking me off stuff too. So I'm down to two and a half, two, 3.5 pills. Yeah, 3.5 pills. Yeah, because I take a cholesterol pill and I have to take the blood pressure pill. So I take two and a half blood pressure pills. So I have 3.5 pills, and I just dropped it. Now I'm on Ozempic, which is the catalyst for regulating all these systems in my body. I'm telling you, Harry, they should just go ahead and just the insurance company should pay for these semaglutide drugs. You know, that's the problem. Bureaucracy doesn't catch up with technology or science. They'd rather people suffer than to if you could cure so many things. You could cure so many things, you know, and they just won't do it. I don't get it. I mean, I get it because of bureaucracy, because they don't have doctors on staff, right? And so they have to wait to get to talk to people, and it's just a mess. Because
You
they
know, I,
really could just handle this.
I had read somewhere that one of the big clubs like Sam's Club or BJ's or something like that was gonna make it easier to get the meds through them. And if you were a club member, you were gonna get some type of discount or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I used to be a club member. Do you know what I mean? Like I used to be, when I had young kids at the house. I don't have young kids at the house. But, I saw the guy on Shark Tank today, the Shark Tank guy, and it was like, I love Costco. I love Costco too, Harry, but I don't need all that. I mean, but maybe I'll reconsider renewing my membership. Because it's the membership has its privileges. Gas,
Well,
you know, to,
that's why I'm a BJ's club member because the gas is just with the gas
I was a
prices.
BJ's person too. That was the last membership I had. I just like Costco a little bit better because Costco carries a lot of vegan dairy free stuff. Do you know what I mean? And BJ's is not on that band, ain't on that tip yet. So, but I might have to renew my membership, Harry. I might have to.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with BJ's, if you use their card, you get 15 cents off of a gallon of gas,
Yeah,
and their prices are already lower than the market.
yeah.
So can't go wrong with that.
I know. I
I
know
think
you
it pays
can.
for I think it pays for itself just with the gas.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I know it does. You know, what are you gonna do? Nothing you can do except try to find deals. Did you get your taxes done on time or you had to
Oh
file
dear.
for an extension?
No, I paid my taxes. I always wait to the last minute because I don't want to pay the government any sooner than I have to.
I owe $96.
Well, I'm jealous.
And then the state of Connecticut owes me $90. So if I
Oh,
could
well,
put them in the room together, Harry, somebody could just run me $6.
you
I mean
break
a
even.
dollar. I'll break.
Well, that's my goal every year, just to break even. This year was unusually high, higher than usual that we paid. So,
My financial person is like, okay, Babs, you creeping up into making money.
yeah, and then the thing is like when you're married filing jointly, you have two incomes and no dependents.
Oh, I know.
You are screwed over.
I don't have any dependents either, Harry.
I wish I could take somebody just came in. I wish I could take my grandchildren and the whole family living in my house as a dependent, but that's why I really need the BJ's Club right now because I gotta buy in bulk.
Mm,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
I know. I feel everything about that. I know, because every time I'm like, man, when I was getting them to, because when I got divorced, Lawrence and I, we split the kids. He take two, I took two. Now we don't got no kids in common. Like we don't have. I was like,
No,
boy,
yeah, it's crazy because I was helping somebody else do taxes, and they made quite a bit lower than me, and they got back almost what I paid. So it's so it's like, wait a minute, I feel like I'm paying their refund. You know,
wow.
they got back like 8,000. I was like, wait a minute,
Mm,
but they got dependents and stuff, and all the tax breaks of not being at the they had the lower tax bracket. Life
yeah,
sucks when you gotta pay taxes.
I know. But we like roads and we like you like your garbage picked up and you like
No, I don't even think about that because all of my roads suck, right? So it's like I wonder why I pay taxes when the road, when my car gets messed up because of some huge pothole, I still gotta go pay
yeah,
to get
you
my
do.
car fixed.
I gotta pay my I've not paid my my car tax. And I'm gonna pay it. They haven't announced that they're gonna start, you know, uh
Yeah, they have that bill where they were considering not they're considering not charging for car taxes. But here's the thing. I mean, it wouldn't take effect this year anyway, but the thing is that it's just gonna get they're gonna have to make up for those taxes somewhere else. So it's gonna be the property owners. I already pay enough taxes. Leave me alone.
Well, Harry, it won't matter because you pay your car tax and your
I mean, either
Property. I mean,
way,
it's all property. So
as long as it's a break even thing where I'm not paying more, you know, if I'm paying what I don't know what I pay, like 500 in car taxes, um, as long as it's not more than 500 added to my bill, you know. But I just figure they
I
make
see what you
something go
mean.
away and then they hit
I
you
know.
hard on the other end.
And then it shows up somewhere else. It's like we took the car tax away. Did you really? Did you really? So I was like, oh, I gotta pay it because it was due whenever it's due. And I keep checking the messages to make sure, they start that scofflaw stuff. They'll boot you and all that other mess if you don't pay. So I was like,
You know, it's crazy because I know people who just don't pay their taxes, right? So people who just have never paid taxes, and I think to myself, I mean, how do you live like that? I mean, I would think that somebody's gonna knock on my door every
I'd
time.
be afraid too, Harry. So I
I be thinking, wait a minute, you did your taxes this year? No, I don't do taxes. What?
because they will. I've had my car booted a couple of times for late taxes and I had parking to anything over $200. So I had parking tickets and taxes. So it met the threshold. I remember one time, Harry, I had my car booted in the parking garage downtown. I was at the movies. That's a terrible, terrible feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I always hate when I see somebody's car booted because it's like, okay, so what are they supposed to do? You know, it's like they got to get home. You just, if they couldn't afford to pay the tickets, how they gonna afford to get home to get the car out of the boot and all of this stuff and go to work the next day? And it's just, I don't know. I feel they usually hit the people who are the most, you know, hard up or something. So it's like crazy. It's like, what are you doing? And if I was working that job, they'd be like, you haven't booted nobody this month. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not.
there, there's no cars out.
You need to put me on a desk job or something because I ain't doing that to nobody.
Oh man, that is too funny.
So I saw Civil War, Babz.
Oh, I want to see it, Harry. I don't know if I want to see it, but I want to see it. And I know it's not what you think. It's the relationship between the photojournalist and the mentoring of the photojournalist. So the Civil War is just the backdrop. So it's not a movie about the Civil War per se, like the coming Civil War. And it
Right,
leaves a lot of but
right.
but
It
I
is.
but you know how we feel, Harry. These kinds of movies are a prediction of what we
Right.
might expect.
And also, you know, each side and the the director, I saw an interview with him and he said he was trying to make sure that he wasn't trying to attack, you know, a party, that it could be applied to
Anything.
each side, right, or whatever. And in the movie, it's Texas and California that's the seat. So it's like they're the ones warring with the United States. So it's pretty interesting. I'm like, okay, so Texas and California, you don't see them teaming up or anything like that. You know, they're polar opposites, but they both left the United States.
Well, I guess you have to just pick the most unlikely states to do this, right? Not the states who are always threatening to do it.
Well, Texas is always threatening to do it, right? Well, they used to threaten to do it all the time. Um, but yeah, so it was pretty good. Kirsten Dunst's husband is in it too. She's in it. She's the main
Yeah, I've been
actor.
seeing her on the late night talk shows
Yeah,
talking about this film. She's been an actress. We've seen her since she was a child.
yeah,
Freaky, right?
yeah. It's crazy. You see somebody who she used to she was a child when I felt like I was already a man, and all of a sudden she looks like as old as me, and it's like, oh my gosh, so that means I'm older. It's crazy, but her husband is he has the line of the movie, right?
Oh,
So it's when her and her colleagues they pull up on his farm and he's killing people, he's burying a whole truckload of people,
oh gosh.
and he just killed one of them, right? But the question they're like, oh, wait a minute, we're American, and he goes, well,
Which American?
what kind of American are you? That's the the whole line of the movie, because that's the whole point of the Civil War. It's like, okay, but what kind of American are you?
Well, I've seen that trailer.
Yeah. The actor said that the Hispanic actor, um, he said after that scene, he went and he laid down on the grass and yelled, and it just felt too real with the climate
Yeah.
and everything. Um,
I would imagine it would. Like I can see how it would feel that way. And people will see this movie, Harry, and think that this is, coming. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but
and then for
but
some, it'll be, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, right. And that scene itself, you could apply it so many different ways. Like he saw it as, xenophobia, an attack on whatever he is. But the people he's burying, when they pull up to his farm and he's burying a whole truckload of people, he's burying all from white, black, everybody. He's burying. And so,
He's
but
an equal opportunity
yeah.
burial.
So right, so for him, it's like, what kind of American are you? He's not asking you about your color. He's not asking. He's just saying, you better pick the right side, or you dead.
Are you gonna be in this ditch with
you know?
the rest of your American patriots? Oh, well, what are you gonna do?
But yeah,
Well,
it wasn't. I expected to see a lot of people with MAGA hats in the movie, but a lot of people were boycotting it because they felt it was a movie against the MAGA movement and all that stuff. But it wasn't that at all. It was just. It's like
well,
Karen said.
you would think, Harry, that these MAGA people would send somebody in to see it and then come back and tell us should we boycott this, right? Like that's how that should work, right? Like,
Right. It's like Karen said, it's like kind of had no plot when it came to the Civil War,
yeah,
right?
that's what people are saying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And the whole and Kirsten Dunst did good, you know, and her husband did, I mean, he was on the screen for maybe 7 minutes, but it was for me the best part of the movie
wow.
because it gets to the point of the whole movie. You know, I forgot who it was. What somebody in the movie says, oh, Kirsten Dunst, she's remembering all the wars, all the pictures she's taken throughout her career in different countries.
Hmm.
And she said, we did this, we took pictures of it so it wouldn't happen here.
Yeah.
So people
That's
would
how I
learn from
feel,
it.
Harry. That's how I feel now. Like
Yeah.
we have a real understanding of what war is, and yet we still have conflict. Like we know what it does to countries and communities and cities, and yet we still willing to. And I know somebody's itching to just drop some kind of nuclear thing for the hell of it because they want to. Do you know what I
Well,
mean? Like I just feel like somebody is dying to do it because there's that thing in your brain that says, I know if I do this, it's gonna harm us too, but I got to do it.
so
Excuse
let's
me.
go into the conspiracy theory. But so JFK, he was at war with the CIA and the FBI back then because they wanted a war. So
Well,
I mean,
warmongers always want wars, right? Like,
yeah. So just think about it. We were dealing with nuclear bombs back then. Remember the Cuban Missile Crisis, and all they could think about is let's create the environment for war.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we're not doing this. So, so people feel like that was part of the reason that and the civil rights movement stuff that they were just like sick of him. They're like, first off, this guy wants, rights for everybody, not, and now he doesn't want to go to war.
Oh yeah, we gotta kill him.
Yeah, we gotta get him out of here.
This is bad for business. He bad for business. All these peace loving people, they bad for business.
So even like right now, you saw Iran, um, they sent like 100 and something bombs towards Israel.
Yeah, but did they really though?
Right, but that's the thing, right?
I
Did they
mean,
really? Right? Because you think about it, it was
and I'm
so
not saying that, Harry, because I want them to bomb Israel. That's
no,
not
no, no,
that's not
no.
my
But
point. My point is you want to show your people you retaliated, but you don't hit nothing. I mean, you don't really do any
yeah,
damage.
but
You
that's
just
the thing. So this is what I'm saying. So it's like remember that this our CIA plays games like this. They war game this stuff, and supposedly they had about a week's notice, maybe more, about exactly how it was going to go down because Iran had told other allies of exactly what they were going to do, where they were going to send the bombs, exactly because they didn't want to hit anything. They just wanted to say, "Hey, look, we retaliated." So but the way our War Department and the media play it, it's like ready for World War III, let's go. And it's like, no, no, this is not. And the thing is that when you war game stuff like this, one mistake could cause World War III for real.
yeah.
And I think that's what, like you said, the warmongers, that's what they live for. They're hoping somebody makes a
Somebody
mistake.
wants that. I'm convinced, Harry. I'm so convinced. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
I just wish we could get to the place where war is just, useless and but somehow or other we don't seem to
Well, it's just impossible. That's an impossible, goal, Babz. Impossible. We're human beings. We hate ourselves so much. I mean, because people don't realize you're always looking in a mirror, always looking in a mirror. That person across from you is a human being just like you, So it's like people don't ever realize the person across from you is just your reflection, So we hate ourselves. I mean, if we could look at another person and want them dead, that's hating ourselves so much,
that
you know?
is.
It's crazy. It's
I'm in
crazy, bro.
agreement. Listen. I just, for people to be uh
All the
for people
people.
to for people to be so God-fearing. For people to stand in their faith,
Well, that's another issue.
because all these people, Harry, all these countries, highly religious countries, heavily religious, all of them.
All consider themselves the seed of Abraham, right? And it's like, wow, wait a minute. So that means you're killing your cousin, your brother, your sister. This is the it's just never gonna get fixed, Babs. We actually have to,
Well,
and
I
this is
won't say never gonna get fixed, Harry, because I can't be a defeatist like that. But but I'm close to you.
but the thing is that you think about it, even in the gospel, the book that everybody's like looks for hope in, right? The end is a tragic end, right? It's not like the the apocalypse is coming. So, and then some people can't wait
Yeah.
for the apocalypse.
Well, the apocalypse, if you understand the Bible, the apocalypse in the Bible is not actually the end. The apocalypse in the Bible has already happened.
Well, every end is a
So
beginning.
so
Right?
so so that gives you hope that there's opportunity, that the mere fact that we are here says there's hope.
Yeah.
Now, but we, in our craziness, we spend a lot of time trying to get back to the apocalypse.
Well, the thing is that for everybody, the apocalypse is, you know, seeing Jesus in the clouds for some and other things for others. And so they can't wait for that day. A lot of people can't wait for that day. And the biggest fear you have is that these people who think that way all of a sudden land in positions of power in our government, right? And
Yeah.
that's the scary part, right? You get any zealot who can't wait,
And there's a lot of them.
and right, that's the scary part. That's the scary part.
There's a lot of them, Harry,
That
who
they feel like they have to help God. you know, well, let me help God with this. Let me finish this sooner than later.
there's a lot of people who don't want peace, because peace isn't profitable. Or so we say.
Oh, it
Peace
is.
is profitable, but selling guns and
Look,
weapons is a big deal.
it's only profitable for the soul, Babz. You can't you can't spend that. Okay. I forgot who was it Eisenhower who said our biggest problem is the military industrial complex?
Complex, yeah.
That is it, they're behind every war, every
It's
this,
a, it's profitable to the soul.
that's peace is only profitable to the soul.
That's funny. That is so funny. Oh Lord. I
You,
know, but still,
I mean, right,
keep hope alive.
you can't bank it. Well, I mean, you could. You're banking. I mean, peace in your soul is like you should be rich there,
I
right? But people don't care about that rich.
I, Harry, is there a moment when there is absolute peace on this earth? Have we ever had that experience? A global moment of peace.
I think right after World War II, but it lasted very it was like because then the Cold War starts, right? So
Because we got to keep it going.
it's like, okay, let's see who could race to have the most nuclear weapons. That's so it gets I don't know.
And what are we doing with this stuff? What are we doing with it? And then somebody wants to try it. Somebody wants to just try it. We didn't
Perhaps
we didn't learn anything from Hiroshima
right, that's what I was gonna say.
Hiroshima.
We did try it. We showed the world how destructive and soulless that is, right?
And we vowed never to do it again.
And that bomb that they used then is like one
And that was
tenth.
an atomic bomb, right? Like
Yeah, what we have now will destroy the world for
it
sure. It will
yeah,
destroy the world.
for real, destroy the whole world.
Yeah, and then they're hypersonic now, Babs. So
I know.
the thing is, no side could stop it. They're so fast. They're hypersonic. So the only chance you have is as soon as you get the alert. Oh, they send their hypersonic. It's pressing your hypersonic to send it back. So mutual destruction.
I don't know how people I don't know how I don't know how they think people will survive. People will not survive that.
Well,
There'll be some people who will survive, Harry, because life goes on. But the devastation of that,
Yeah.
And the fallout to the earth would be catastrophic. You
For
know,
some,
so well, maybe well,
those people who think that it's gonna be better, they're in for a rude awakening because
I don't. I think people need to go back and watch these dystopian films and be like, when you what do you think the fallout is going to be? It's not gonna. The earth will be scorched. Do you know? You won't be able to grow stuff. The rain will be poisonous. The water would be poisoned. Do you understand? Like this would be. And scientists are always. You ask any scientist, Harry, they're willing to tell you what will happen. People don't want to. Oh, it can't be that bad. Oh, it won't be that bad. Okay. All right. Ask
no.
those
Well,
people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Ask them.
they still can't go into those areas. Okay,
No,
so
nothing.
yeah.
And the people that lived around that time, generations of cancer and death. Generations.
Hey, Paul.
So, yeah.
Yesterday. Yeah. No, so there's a new show on, I think it's Prime, that it's called Fallout,
Oh.
and it's about people who survived the nuclear war in fallout shelters.
Oh, no.
And they're connected, I guess, by the fallout shelter tunnel system.
Oh. Is it like Lord of the Flies? Is it?
It basically it's like what's that Mel Gibson um Mad Max,
Oh God.
right?
Harry, I have no desire to to survive in that foolishness. None.
You know, when I was growing up in the projects in Brooklyn, there was when you got out of the elevator on the first floor, there was this yellow and black sign, fallout shelter, pointing to the fallout shelter. So we had all those fallout shelters from, from the Cold War when everybody was waiting for real war, where they were telling kids to get under the desk like they were going to survive under the desk, a nuclear bomb, right? But so there has to be fallout shelters all over the place. As what we should do is we should figure out where they're
Buy
at.
which ones and buy one?
No, just target one so that when we know something's gonna happen, we'll just go to one. Because right now they're empty or they're being used for storage.
Okay, Harry.
But there's fallout shelters all over the place.
Wait, that's let me do a simple search. Fallout shelters in Connecticut and see what it yields. Because I never think about them. I know there's some for sale, Harry.
Yeah, but those are bunkers. But these are military fallout shelters that they had started preparing in the 60s, just in case of a war with Russia from the Cuban Missile Crisis. So there have to be some all over the place. We just don't know where they're at.
Okay, so by the late 70s, fallout shelter program was discontinued and funding ceased. And over time, the designated shelters were mostly neglected or repurposed for other uses. And the signs gradually started disappearing from buildings, although they can still be seen in some locations. Okay,
Right. So
so
so you see right now there's storage areas. When they say repurposed, what repurposed with rats? I mean, repurpose is this they're storing junk in there. So we just got to find one.
I don't know where they are. Nuclear, well, let's see. Hidden in mysterious places you never knew. Okay, a dozen of sites were constructed in Connecticut. Oh,
Oh, but we're
okay.
giving away our plan here. Hold up, we're on the radio.
Uh,
Everybody's gonna be knocking on that shelter door.
let's see. Hartford, Hope Park. Okay, you could see some.
See?
Oh, this is interesting. I'm gonna send you this little link so you could have it. Very interesting. Now you make me want to go look for these things. I don't want to look for these things, Harry.
I mean, who knows? You never know when the state's gonna put them
I know, but you
for
know what?
sale,
If you and I know
auction.
where they are, that puts us in good stead.
I know.
Well, there's some other people who know too, Harry. The people who really, the survivalist people, they know.
And you know that there's some MREs there, right? So meals ready to eat. So because they were stocking those shelters with, you know, wartime stuff. So part of that stuff, that material was MREs, which are meals that last more than 25 years or more, right? So there's probably still some stuff that is edible.
You know what else is still around, Harry? Uh, uh, um, line of sight anti-aircraft missile systems.
Mm.
Project Nike, which was named after the goddess of victory from Greek mythology. A dozen sites were constructed in Connecticut, Ansonia, Shelton, Manchester, and Portland, and a few other places. Um, Many of these have been demolished and redeveloped, but there's still some. Cromwell missile site is dilapidated and overgrown, but there's still some original buildings. That's
See, there's plenty
freaky.
of places to take shelter
Ah.
and get some
Oh,
ordinances.
oh, here's something, Harry. In West Hartford, what appears to be a house stands at the busy intersection of South Main Street and Park Road. Despite a seemingly typical brick exterior, black shutters, and white window panes, no one lives in that structure because it's not a home. It was made to look like a residence, but it's not a residence. It's a bunker-like facility. Uh,
Military
wow.
bunker? Is it
Well,
or private?
oh, the town decided to purchase the property a decade ago to create a bunker-like facility for important town, um, for important town property secure and stuff like that. Uh, Yeesh. But it's one of those relics from the Cold War.
Yeah, and
So
I've seen throughout the years here in Connecticut where they've built these structures and then covered them with mountains, you know. So like you think, oh, there goes a little hill there, but that's a structure
yeah,
on,
but it's a structure.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's like, what are they building inside there? And then all of a sudden it disappears. It's just a hill.
Ah.
So
Now, see, I think the government is watching me look for these fallout shelters like I know something. Whoever is listening to me from the government, I know nothing. I'm just being curious because all these movies start like this, Harry, with us having this conversation, doing a search, and then the men in black knock on the door. What are you doing? What do you know? Who are you talking to? I'm not talking to anybody. I don't know nothing. We just curious.
I'm like, if they knock on my door, I'm like, LoveBabz, LoveTalk. I just got into a conversation with her. I have nothing to do with it. It's like
Wait. Did y'all notice the emphasis on her? The way Harry put this?
her.
That's classic bus under throwing under the bus move.
Yep.
Ooh, ah. You could buy them, Harry. You could buy a minimum bunker can cost upwards of 38,000, depending on how hooked up the safe house is. So, reinforced concrete, that kind of thing. You need a kitchen, you need kitchen gear and other amenities. So about $60,000 all tricked out.
You know,
I don't know, that might be worth it.
I'd be looking at places like overseas to see like when they're trying to get people to, like in Australia, there was one time where they were giving houses for $1 and stuff like that. But you guys see where it's at. It's like you moving to the Sahara.
Oh God.
It's like all dry, and it's like, okay, where's the water source? But if you could figure it out, I don't know. You gotta. I mean, of course, you die by some scorpion or something over there in Australia.
Oh Lord.
Some
Have you
deadly.
seen these things in Australia, Harry? The kangaroos. You know, I don't know why they did us a disservice by making kangaroos so cute and cuddly. You see those things in real, they look like demons.
They're scary. And then when they stand up and they square up, they look like a man with a kangaroo costume on. Those things are scary.
And the claws, the
Yeah.
talons. I know I was watching wherever these people live, they had a glass window, a floor to ceiling glass window, and the kangaroo was slamming into it because it saw itself in the reflection and wanted to fight. I don't know what I would do, Harry. I don't know if I get in my car and try to drive away. Like, what, do I
The,
go out and shoot it? Like, what happens?
yeah, you want to get away from those kangaroos. But the only thing I've ever seen actually fight a kangaroo is a goat, right? So
A goat.
yeah, because the goats are like they like to ram things. So it's like they back up. They're like, "What's wrong with this kangaroo?" And all of a sudden they come charging and hit the kangaroo in the stomach. So I mean, no, but kangaroos are scariest. Oh my God. I
Uh,
don't understand kangaroos anyway. Are
I,
they like
I don't,
are they edible? What's it? I mean,
I
what's their
don't,
purpose? What's
I
their
don't know.
purpose?
Do you want to? We don't have this conversation about the things that people will eat, like giraffes and stuff like that.
I'm always willing to try, meat.
First of all, kangaroos are not cute, so I don't know if I could. I don't think I can eat them. I mean, it's bad enough I eat chickens.
Well, everything tastes like chicken, so kangaroo is probably just, a little rough, the meat, you know?
Mm. I don't know. Maybe you might be able to uh eat kangaroos in Australia. Let me see.
Kangaroo on a stick.
I think you can. Yeah. Many Australian restaurants serve kangaroo meat.
Ooh.
Kangaroo meat has been exported since 1959. 70% of kangaroo meat is exported, particularly to um, European market, Germany and France. And what does it taste like? I'm sure.
Chicken.
Regulations and restrictions vary by state, and in many places, the sale of kangaroo meat is limited or prohibited due to concerns about conservation and ethical issues. Uh, less than 2% fat, kangaroo meat is one of the healthiest meat choices you can make.
Oh, there you go.
I can't
That
do it though.
I think rabbit is pretty good for you too.
And the fats that are there are the ones we want. Beneficial unsaturated fat. Mm-mm. Is it legal? Kangaroo meat is 99% fat free. The exception
What?
is California. It's low in cholesterol and high in iron. So the exception is California, which apparently has banned the sale of kangaroo meat. In the other 49 states, it's legal. So you could eat kangaroo meat, Harry. You could get it. It's probably expensive as hell.
No, you see that fits in your new gin diet,
No.
right? Gin and kangaroo meat. It's good for you.
Why don't we eat them? Because you know why? You don't eat them because they harbor a number of parasites and pathogens.
Ah,
So, uh, so it's a processing problem, but people eat it. So, yeah.
like we no
So,
longer eat horses here, right?
yeah. No, you don't eat horses.
But they used to
Um,
eat horses.
you don't eat horse meat, haggis, mechanically separated beef, sassafras, foie gras, unpasteurized milk, and fresh ackee. Ugh.
Like when there's a bird flu that they because you know that there was recently a bird flu passed from a bird to a human recently.
Really?
Yeah, so they found a few farms that had a couple of contaminated chickens, and what they do is they make you kill your whole
Yeah.
the whole farm. It's just like a mad cow. They get rid of all your cattle, all your
Yeah.
cows and
Well, the
everything.
reason why you don't eat horse meat, U.S. horse meat is unfit for human consumption because of the uncontrolled administration of hundreds of dangerous drugs and other substances to horses before slaughter, you know. So horses, particularly with those that are in competitions, rodeos and races, and or former wild horses who are privately owned, slaughtered horses on a constant basis throughout their lives. So,
Well, yeah, you can't eat all of those horses that've been, injected with hormones and steroids and all of that stuff. But you figure wild horses, not privately owned, but wild horses, you would be able to. They used to eat it all the time.
yeah, well, no. I
But what
I,
they
I
should
these are conversations you have at the end of the world.
well, that's what we talk about. But the thing is like what they should do is they should have like rabbit farms all over the place so that when you kill chickens, you just replace it with rabbits. Rabbits are
I mean, the
taste
same
just like
reason why
chicken.
you can't eat rats.
Well, in New York,
Or possums, but people eat them.
they've caught a
Oh
few
Lord.
migrants actually killing and eating rats, cooking rats.
I don't want to hear this.
I mean, it's not unusual in Venezuela where they're starving that they will eat rats and all of that stuff. They actually started eating their zoo animals in Venezuela. So starvation will make get you to the point
Oh,
of
I
eating
know.
anything.
Listen. I don't want to. I don't want to hear that. I just think there's enough food in the world. We shouldn't be starving. But if we have a nuclear fallout,
If we have a nuclear fallout, then the zebra and the
all
zoo is
bets are
gonna look
off.
really good. Yeah, the zebra's gonna look really
But
good.
it's gonna be people who are gonna try to save and rescue all the animals. Don't eat them. Don't eat them.
Yeah,
I was like, but we're but
that's
we're we're hungry.
for the first maybe 14 days. You'll have those people, but after they can't go to the supermarket, they'll be fighting you for the animals.
Oh Lord. I think that's why, Harry, I want to learn how to identify plants. So that
I bought some Kindle books um of which plants are edible. I actually bought the Kindle book. But I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, if the end of the world comes and I can't plug in my iPad,
it's not going to do you any
it's not
good.
gonna do me any good having it on my Kindle. You gotta have actual books like you. You gotta buy books. All of my books in the last 20 years have been digital or electronic books. So,
Mm, I don't know.
but of
I
course,
don't,
there's libraries. That's the first place you gotta hit. You gotta hit, like, if something happens, you go to the supermarket first because everybody's gonna think to themselves, "Oh, in a week everything will be back to normal." You can't think like that. You just go and you buy everything, right? Then after you hit the supermarket, you go to the library and you get all of the survival books you can on plants, on how to
how to
gut.
grow stuff, how to
Yeah,
kill chickens, and
yeah, how to gut a squirrel if you have to eat a squirrel. Limb rats.
that's what I mean. You gotta find your tribe, Harry, to be in the apocalypse with. Seriously. You gotta build community. That's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna have to build some real community
Yeah,
because it's gonna be terrible.
Was we kept in the loop about
yeah, because I mean, just think about it. You're in the wild and you kill a deer, and you don't know how to dress the deer. You don't know how to get rid of anything.
and then
So
did you have
you have to be able to have somebody in your group who goes, yeah, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And you're like, I hope he does because I'm hungry.
Well, you're gonna need a whole bunch of different talents.
Don't be defensive.
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
you're gonna need a whole bunch of different talents to survive.
Yep,
Yeah.
and if nobody owns a lighter or matches,
Oh my God.
it'll be cavemen trying to figure out how to get fire again.
Well, these millennials, all they do is
going
have
back
lighters
to
because
the
they
Suffield, right?
pot smokers. So they
Yeah.
got they got all the gadgets.
No, you got a lighter, everybody just takes out their vape pen. They don't have a lighter,
Oh yeah, they
they
don't
have
have
a
the
vape
lighter.
pen.
The last time we wrote about it, where was
Harry, what I'm always in the habit of doing when I go to the grocery store, I always buy box of matches.
find that out.
The kind you strike. I'm always buying matches. I don't know what that is.
You just got to put them in baggies
Yep, that's
so they don't get wet.
Yeah, before we run, I think we need to Carol thinks that is the single most important fact.
right.
You don't want to, you don't want to need a match.
Her focus.
All right, we are taking a break and we will be back. I've got the folks from the family family center services. They've got a paint and grow event coming up, the neighborhood victim advocacy program, and they've got a paint and grow event coming up on the 20th. So from 12 to 4 at East Rock Park and in New Haven. So they're coming on to talk about this event at 10:15 and why it's necessary. So,
All right.
so I'm looking forward to talking to them.
We'll be right back. You're listening to LoveBabz Love Talk on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.